Hi everyone and welcome to a new video. My name is Reem and I make videos on YouTube, and I also have a blog on which I post a lot of study tips and study videos to help students everywhere in the world to better navigate their student lives. So if this sounds interesting to you, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and that you turn on the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a video. So as you guys know, I've been a student for too long now, and I've been a pharmacy student for long enough to have gathered enough information and enough study tips that I can share with you guys, and I've been sharing for years on my channel. And because just like you, I'm also a student, so I look online for information and tips from other students and also advice. And I also know that there can be so much information out there that it can be overwhelming, and we tend to procrastinate watching those videos and we don't even know what to do in our own lives. But recently I kind of came to the realization that there is just one piece of advice that I wish every student would know, and I wish someone had told me when I was starting out in pharmacy school and as a student in general. And I personally believe that this kind of advice will help any student out there and it will make their student lives better. So first of all, and it goes without saying, that as a student you need to pick a path and just that you're passionate about or you think that you want to pursue in the future. And it doesn't have to be a very specific kind of path. You don't have to say, oh, I want to become a medical student. Maybe you're still in the early days as a student and you don't really have a clear vision, and that's okay because so many students are like that too. And it takes time to actually know what you want to study later in life. But I would kind of assume that you have some subjects that you're gravitating towards and still kind of have a little bit of a vision, although not very clear about what you want to pursue in the future. So for me personally, when I was in school, before pharmacy school, I knew that I would pursue a career in science, just anything science related, because I knew that I loved science so much. It wasn't easy for me, but I loved it and I would give it extra attention. So I knew that I would study something science related in the future. So I ruled out other subjects and I focused more on science. But as a student, because I was still like, I cared a lot about my grades, so I would study everything, but I would put more attention on science because it felt more interesting. So it was natural for me to study it more and just kind of feel the gravitation towards it. So that's the first thing that you need to do, is to basically kind of point out to yourself what is it that you're interested in, what is it that you want to pursue in the future, and that would be the first step. And then the second and the last step would be to start your journey of collecting knowledge. And what that means is that if you decided on science, for example, as I did, you would start the journey of collecting information in science and paying attention to what's being said in science classes and just kind of giving it extra attention. I would definitely not recommend neglecting other subjects, but since you already know and you are decided on science as the main thing that you want to study and go down that route, then it would make more sense to give it more attention because you want to gather more knowledge and have this database that you build up for the future. However, I would still advise you guys to pay attention to other subjects because you never know if you can change your mind later on in life, and also because some institutions and some colleges, and it's a system, they still require that you would have this specific grade, and if your grade is below this and that, you wouldn't be able to get in. Although we're not very fond of that kind of system, it still exists, so I wouldn't recommend not paying attention to the rest of your subjects or courses or classes, but I would advise you to really give extra attention to whatever it is that you picked and sparks your interest the most. So let's say that you finished studying at school and now you have to go to college or university, and maybe you're preparing for med school or pharmacy school. So obviously you're going to be taking on majors or like courses that are related to science, so you're furthering your knowledge. But if you hadn't built the foundation that I told you about when you were in school, it would be very difficult for you in college or in university, whatever you call it, because it would feel like brand new information and you will struggle to gain it and kind of contain it and hold it in because it's just new, you're not used to it. So again, in college I would still advise you to really pay attention to the knowledge that is being presented to you, and not only do you want to get high grades, I wouldn't advise you to really have it as your focus. The main goal is to be able to understand the information and to learn it really well, because even if the information doesn't seem very important at this point in life, later on you will really need it and you will need to retrieve it for other courses and other classes. I've touched on this kind of point before in my videos, and I said the best thing that I would tell younger students is to pay attention to class and the lectures so that you're building up for the future. Because if you're only concerned with passing and just getting passing grades and you're not really concerned with understanding the concept, you will pass, I'm not gonna lie, because in exams you can kind of do well even if you don't really understand the topic. It's not impossible. So you will pass and you will move on to the next year. But in the next year, for example, in the first year, you had to study general chemistry. The next year, you will study pharmacology. And in pharmacology, they will bring up older topics and they will kind of touch on it but will not explain it again. So oftentimes professors don't really give much attention to subjects that they know that you have studied before in the lower years. They already know that you guys have studied that, so they will not give time to it because they have to use that time for the newer information. And that's when a lot of students fall behind and a lot of students feel like, hey, I'm not smart enough, why am I here? And that's only because we haven't paid attention to past classes. I'm one of the students that really hated organic chemistry when I was in year 1 in pharmacy school, and naturally I just wanted to just do good enough in that, and I didn't really understand the subject so well, and I suffered in pharmaceutical chemistry because of it, because pharmaceutical chemistry that I took in 4th and 5th year, I'm taking this year, it is based on organic chemistry that I took in year 1. I can go back and study organic chemistry again. I got a good grade in organic chemistry, but I don't think I have studied it well enough and given it enough attention as I did with other subjects, for example, because I was more interested in other subjects. So that's why I'm telling you that it's very important, even if the subject is very difficult or just requires extra attention, don't neglect it, because it will pop up again in later in life, in a later course that you will take when you level up and go to the next year. Build a foundation for yourself and build up knowledge and information. Even if you feel like you forget it all, it's not actually true, because once you learn new information that has something to do with the old one, your brain will kind of retrieve it, undust it, show it up and present it to you. Even if it's wobbly and not, perfect, it's still there. If you pay attention when you're studying and you actually understand the subject at hand, it will be saved in your brain in a high quality manner, and later on in life when you need it, it will show up. Obviously, we all forget. That's human nature. But if you move on without studying the older information, not even once, and then you take on newer information that is kind of based on that older information that you neglected, you will feel the difference, really, because it's not the same as if you had studied and then forgot, if that makes sense. I see a lot of you guys in uni and you guys talk to me and tell me that you don't like organic chemistry. Again, it's not a very pleasant subject. I'm not blaming you at all. I didn't like it either. A lot of you guys ask me for advice about analytical chemistry and organic chemistry, and to that I say, I know it's not the most pleasant subject to be dealing with, but you have to do this for your future self, basically, just building up for the upcoming courses. You will not have to completely retrieve the old information, like the entire curriculum, but you will use up some knowledge from the past courses. So just try to make sure that you understand the concept. Don't exhaust yourself with boring details if that's not your thing, but I'm recommending that you understand. Just understand. When it was finals time and it was organic chemistry finals, I pulled out, my tablet and I watched a lot of YouTube videos explaining concepts that I didn't understand from the textbook, and that's completely okay. It just helped me understand chemical reactions and the basic kind of chemistry that I needed to know. It made things a lot easier when I moved up to later years. I just wish that I had paid more attention to organic chemistry when I was a first year student. But again, I was just a first year student and I had no idea that I would need that information again. And here I am telling you guys my mistakes so that you avoid them, and now that you know better, you can do better. I'm sure you guys are going to do great. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video till the end. It might not be groundbreaking information, but you kind of need to know this. I feel like if I had known this as a younger student, that would have helped a lot. So if you enjoyed the video and it helped you in any way, please leave a like so that I know that you guys like this video and I can make more videos like this and more study advice. And also, if you like this video, you will like my other videos. I have a lot of study tips videos that I will leave at the end of this video and also leave in the comments and in the description, so make sure that you check them out after this video. Thanks so much, guys, for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one.